Hello everyone, social studies again. Okay, so last time um, we talked about the different gods, right, of the Greek. Now, I want to take you back to those gods, okay, the topic we have last time. So we talked about Hermes, the messenger of Zeus. So he was the one who has wings on his hat and his shoes. Dionysus, the god of wine, where Greek people uh, do festivals, okay, celebrate festivals in honor of him. And Apollo, okay, the god of medicine and poetry, okay. And then we have Eros, the god of love, okay, the Cupid, and also Hera, the queen of the gods, the wife of Zeus, and the goddess of marriages. And also we talk about Hades, the king of the underworld and Zeus's brother. And also we talk about Athena, the goddess of Greek city-states and war, cleverness, and what's the other one? Wisdom. And then Zeus, the king of the gods, who carries around with him thunderbolts, who you wouldn't want to be angry at you. And also Poseidon, the ruler of the sea, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. So those are the gods that we talk about. And so all of these gods, where do they live again, class? You remember where they live? Okay, they live in Mount Olympus. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Trojan War. So this is our lesson today, Trojan War. So I'm going to do the first part first, okay? Okay. So Trojan War. Now I want you to look at these vocabulary words and read. Narrow down. Narrow down. Deadlock. Deadlock. Okay. Banquet hall. Banquet hall. I hope you're seeing it clearly, okay? Discord. Discord. Next word is responsible. Responsible. Then involved. Involved. Honored. Honored. Affairs. Affairs. Fairest. Fairest. And feast. Feast. So I have some of the vocabulary words in the worksheet that I posted. So look through it and find the meaning of those words, okay? And so today we will be talking about the Trojan War. All right, we will be learning about it. Why did it started? What happened? So, um, so in your map, remember the map that I sent when we first talked about ancient Greece? So in the map, can you try to locate the city of Troy? You found it? City of Troy. So it's one of the city-states. And so today we will be learning about the war that took place long ago outside the walls of the city of Troy. Okay? Alright, so please listen carefully as I read, okay? So the Greeks love to tell stories about their gods. Okay, so if you try to find books, there's a lot of book stories about, the gods and things that they did. Okay, so yeah. So they told stories about how the gods played tricks on one another and how they fell in love and out of love and how they did great things. Now, they also told stories about times when the gods came down from Mount Olympus and got involved in the affairs of human beings. Okay, so one story the Greeks told was about how the gods were responsible for a war that uh, took place between the Greek city-states, several Greek city-states, and the ancient city of Greece, which is Troy. Troy. Okay, this one. Alright, Troy. Now, one story. Okay. This war was called the Trojan War, like I said. Okay. So the Greeks believe that this war, there is the gods of the gods were responsible for this war. All right. Now, so according to the stories, one evening the gods were enjoying a feast, okay, in the banquet hall on Mount Olympus. Okay, so they're having like a kind of like a party, okay, feast. So Ares, okay, this one, Ares, she's one of the god. So she's the goddess of discord or trouble. Okay, so Ares wasn't invited to the party. So what do you think she felt that she wasn't invited to the party? I mean, the gods and goddesses are enjoying the feast, foods, dancing, music, and all that. And here's Ares, who's not invited. What do you think was she felt? How does she felt about it? Huh? Of course, she was angry. She get mad. She was very mad. Okay? Now, Ares was so angry that she decided to cause some trouble. Remember, she's the goddess of trouble, so she wants to cause trouble because she was so angry for not being invited. Now, so in the middle of the party, she decided to toast, okay? Toast like this. I'll show you what is toast, okay? She decided to toast, okay? A golden apple, okay? She did not toast a paper like me now, but she toasted a golden apple. Okay, but that golden apple is not just a golden apple. It has a label of for the fairest. Okay, remember the word that I showed you, fairest? For the fairest. That means for the most beautiful. Okay, now what do you think happened when she toasted that one? Okay, so Ares figured out that if she does that, the goddesses will be running and they will be running and grabbing that apple, right? Because they would think that they are the fairest, that they deserve that golden apple that she toasted. And sure enough, she's not mistaken. So the goddesses were like rushing to catch that apple that she toasted. And so all of them wanted that apple, right? And so finally, that choice was narrowed down. So from maybe, I don't know how many of them, but it was narrowed down into 3 goddesses. So the goddesses were Aphrodite, Hera, and Athena. So these 3 were chosen were like it was narrowed down to these 3. Now these 3 goddesses went to Zeus. Okay, remember Zeus is the king of the gods, so they went to Zeus. So Zeus can choose which one is the fairest, which one is the most beautiful goddess. Now so they went to Zeus. Now Zeus knew that he was in a tricky situation. Okay, if he choose one of them, then the others will be mad at him. And he doesn't want the goddesses to be mad at him, especially his wife or his daughter. Okay, now, so what he did, he asked these goddesses to go to Paris. Okay, Paris. So Paris was a handsome king of the city of Troy. So he was the king of the city of Troy. Now, he asked them to go to Paris, you know, and Paris could choose. Now, when these three goddesses went to Paris, um, they offered him rewards. Okay, so Hera offered Paris to make him a powerful ruler of all, and then Athena offered her to be the smartest of all. But Aphrodite was very clever. She offered him something that Paris cannot say no. What do you think is that offer? Can you guess? Remember, Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. So what she offered was to give Paris the most beautiful woman in the world. So how can he say no to that? So you remember, he was the king already, so he must be powerful. He doesn't need to be powerful anymore because he's powerful already. And he's smart already because he's been the leader. So the only thing that he would want would be a beautiful woman, and not just beautiful, but the most beautiful woman in the world. Now, where do you think that most beautiful woman can be found? Huh? I wonder too. Where? Okay, so Aphrodite kept her promise to Paris. So what she did, she took Paris to the Greek city-state of Sparta. Remember, Paris was from Troy. Why do you think she took Paris to Sparta, which is another city-state of Greece? Because the most beautiful woman in the world lived there in Sparta. You want to know what's her name? Her name was Helen. So Helen was the most beautiful woman in the world at that time. And she lived in Sparta. Now, the problem is, Helen was already married. She was the wife of the king of Sparta. So it was quite complicated, right? But Paris was a very selfish man. You know, he doesn't care if Helen was, married. He just wanted that beautiful woman. So what he did, he took Helen away from Sparta and he brought her to Troy. Now, what do you think happened when the king of Sparta came back without his wife? What do you think happened? He was so furious. Okay? He thought that, he received Paris in his city-states as a guest, an honored guest, but then he kidnapped his wife. So what do you think he did? So what the king of Sparta did was he traveled around all the Greek city-states. Okay? So the king of Sparta traveled all over Greece. He talked with all the leaders of the major city-states, and they agreed to help him raise a mighty army. Okay, with this army, he could follow Paris to Troy and fight to get Helen back. So he was able to raise this mighty army so he could get his wife back. So that's where the war happened. Okay, he was able to put together a fleet of 1,000 ships and set sail to Troy. So that's a lot of ships, right? So they use ships before. There's no car. There's no, So anyway, when the Greeks arrived on the shores of Troy, they set up camp and attacked the city. But conquering Troy, okay, conquering Troy was not easy at all. The Troy had many great soldiers. Okay, they're a good city. They have good soldiers too. What's more difficult is that Troy has this great wall. Okay, so they have a high wall and a very strong wall that protects the entire city. So the two goddesses, Paris had not picked. Remember who he did not pick? Hera and Athena aided, okay, helped, okay, aided the Greeks and helped them attack the Trojans. So Trojans are the people that live in Troy, so they're called Trojans. Now Aphrodite helped Paris and the other Trojans defend their city. Other gods also took sides and helped as the Greeks and the Trojans battled each other. So the other gods also get involved in the war. Now, sometimes the Greeks seemed to be about to win, and sometimes the Trojans did. But the Greeks could not could not beat the Trojans and break through the wall. And the Trojans could not drive away the Greeks. So seems like the Greeks, are winning, but also at some points seems like the Trojans are winning. But the fact is, the Greeks, all the city Greeks, the city states of Greeks that fought for the war, they couldn't get through. They couldn't break the wall. They couldn't get through the Trojan, in the city of Troy, to destroy it. They couldn't, and also the Trojan could not drive them away. So what happened is the war is the Trojan War was a deadlock. Deadlock means it's a tie. No, they cannot go in, and the Trojans cannot kick them out. So it's a tie. It's deadlock. Now, so why do you think Hera and Athena sided with the Greek? Okay, with the Sparta king and other Greek city. Why do you think? Hmm? I want you to answer that question in the questionnaire, okay? And also, do you think the Trojan War is connected to the story of the Golden Apple? Were the gods really responsible about the war? What do you think? Okay, please answer the question I gave. Alright, see you next. Okay, tomorrow we will continue this story of the Trojan War. Alright, bye bye.